All right, everybody. Sergey is on his way to a driving for dollars deal that he got. He's going to show us. So what were you saying, Sergey?
So I was doing driving for dollars for myself, just going through the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, this neighborhood about 2 months ago. So you have a mixed neighborhood here. You have just regular like one bedroom houses, but all pretty good, cleaned up,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you have some of them that's been purchased to be renovated. Oh, here's my designer there. Oh, that's gonna be nice. All right. So I was just going just like that, and then I see this house right there, which is now freshly painted and look all pretty. And here's Heather right there, and I see for sale by owner sign, and the house did qualify for driving for dollar house, which is obviously looked a little worn out, and you can see from the side um, the roof is still beat up, which we're replacing now, right? But you can see for sale. Hey, Heather.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see the house was beat up, and you see for sale by owner sign. As a matter of fact, it's still right there in the dumpster, right? And you can see
Mm-hmm.
the sign been actually burned out. Let's see. Well, here's the sign. You can barely see, you can barely see the number there, right?
Right.
So it's been there for a while. And I went and take a look and knocked on the door. The lady is there, the older lady. She's like, well, it's a COVID, I don't want to have anybody in the house. Can you call my can you call my son? And we've met up. I looked at the property. Now son wanted to he was asking a little more money than I wanted to pay. And but I obviously see that the house needs roof, house need AC, it needs full rehab. You can see the tarps on the roof still.
Mm-hmm.
There's obvious signs of leaks and whatnot. And we couldn't put a deal together that day. And I was left him with the offer right there and then, and I was following up with him since. And I would say about 3 weeks later, we've yeah, he said, well, what about your offer? I'm like, well, I've actually bought another house, and I really bought another house. I said, I wasn't waiting for you. But let's see what I can do. We've met up and we put the deal together. He was very anxious to close. On this particular one, I was not wholesaling it. So it may be a little
Yeah.
different from what folks are doing out there. But
But
I've
I
closed on
think
it.
it's great though, because I think, wholesaling, everyone wants to get into wholesaling because they want to get into real estate investing. And you've been able to use wholesaling to actually invest in properties and flip them. You have a couple rentals, don't you?
For sure, yes. I'm implementing with Airbnb and some rooming rentals and just doubling with different things. But the bottom line, I'm trying to build a little bit of a portfolio.
Love it.
Turn and burn some, and then keep. Let's say I started with flip four and keep one, and now getting to flip two and keep one.
Love it. Well,
So
we didn't even do an intro. Everyone that's listening to this or watching this on YouTube. So this is Sergey. He's one of my original students. From when I first started getting into coaching and like teaching people driving for dollars and how to find deals. And I would love to like go back on your story, Sergey. Like you just jump right in. You're a busy guy, and so you're showing up. You got your designer there. You're working
so
on your flip, and
I
we've even got
actually
Eve
wasn't.
on the phone too.
Yeah, I didn't expect this to be, a call like that. So I apologize that I'm not sitting in an office. I was just,
No, this is
doing
actually
my.
way better because everyone's always in the office. This is cool. Sergey's out doing his thing. Like it's even more proof of, proof of concept. This is real stuff. We even have Evelyn, or Eve on the call with us. She's Sergey's acquisition manager, and she said she wasn't going to turn on her camera for us, but that's okay. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
I'm
So
camera
this is
shy.
your camera shy. No worries. I'm
She
sure
she
you're
doesn't have her T-shirt on today, so that's why she doesn't want to get it.
her branded shirt. Well, let's back up, Sergey. I would love to have the audience hear your story. I kind of know it a little bit. So you're in Orlando, but what were you doing before you went out on your own and started your own business?
Well, so it's the funny, today I spoke to my lender that lended me on my very first deal 11 years ago.
Love it.
So I came from Russia. I didn't know a thing, joined local group of investors,
How was your English? How was your English?
high and by, man. I mean, I was barely speaking anything, but that
Love it.
didn't stop me from door
Love it,
knocking,
dude.
didn't stop me to go out there, get on the stage with that first deal. You do deal of
Yeah.
the month in your local group. I was trying to be on the stage like every other month, like to just get any kind of deal because they always want somebody on the stage to talk about your deal. I try to do them creatively, whether it's private lenders or trying to do some type of seller financing or things like that,
Good for you.
something interesting to talk about, not just buy, rehab, and sell, right?
Yeah.
And then some of the deals, whether you want it or not, it makes sense to wholesale because you might be a little too busy or something. But it always back on the days, we're talking 7-8 years ago, I was thinking, well, $3,000 to $5,000 is assignment fee, and I never thought that you can actually make a lot more than that.
Yeah.
So about 2-3 years ago, I was doing full time as acquisition manager for somebody else,
Hmm.
and that's when I can go out and just focus on negotiations and putting the deals under contract, not thinking about okay, rehab, roofs, permits, materials and all that.
Marketing costs, like everything that goes into it, right?
I was part of the marketing cost, so it was
Okay.
more like a partnership type of arrangement where
Okay.
I had the partners, but my role was participating financially in the marketing cost and also to be out there on the field. Oh, I like that actually bottle. I have one
Yeah.
too.
John, you do
Look,
have the same bottle.
yeah,
My
but
cute
mine
wife
is a
got it
little.
for me.
Yeah, same thing, but it's a little more full. So you're doing good on yours. I'm a little behind. So
Mm,
yeah, so I was doing the acquisition for about the wholesaling acquisition manager for the wholesale, like a joint venture part arrangement there, right? For about 2 years. Something that I couldn't pass on is that I see that some deals have, there's more money on the table. Like I felt like we were leaving the money on the table, and I kind of like the rehabbing aspect of it. I don't mind to jump into the work myself,
mhm.
because I also noticed that like in my business last year, 7 deals I could not close because of title issues, because sellers backing out. And I don't want to get too deep into this, like how you can go after the seller and all that, but at the end of the day, 7 contracts, and that's the deals that I've you know put on the contract, went through the title and lien search, and like a week from the closing, we cannot close because there's issues. 7. So
Jeez.
that's like a deal every 2 months, a little more than that. Now, I could not imagine what it would be if I would be trying to wholesale it, because I was looking to close on those myself,
Hmm.
right? So now that would be doing double work and then still getting nothing in return. So that that being said, and then the fact that I've seen more money on the table, being a smaller guy, right? So Evelyn is full time with me, and then I have a couple part time people, right? Coming and going, and buying. So doing my own marketing, meeting with the sellers, closing on the deals, doing my own rehab, and then pretty much doing my own sale, because I'm a part of like I put the properties in the land trust, and then I act as a property trust manager. So
Hmm.
I'm not the listing agent, I'm not the owner, because land trust owns it, but I'm kind of in the middle of the transaction. I'm in the middle of the negotiation. The trustee end up signing the offer, but I'm kind of the guy, so I'm just the messenger. So don't kill the messenger if
Hmm.
if you don't
Dude,
like what this
I love it. So I want everyone that's listening to this to understand that Sergey's been in this business for a while, right? And first of all, let me ask you this. You had a lot of
Mhm.
experience. You actually have more experience than I do in real estate, more time at least. And why was it that you wanted me to coach you? Like, what was it that you were hoping to get from me?
Okay, well, I value time and experience at this point, you know? So if you have a system, a process that works already, it's worth for me every penny to just pay for it and have it ready to go, versus
Beautiful.
me trying to spend time, resources, make all your mistakes, learn from them, hopefully, and then prove the concept, trial and error and all that, right? So this is the business in a box, or in this case, it's a marketing system in a box that you just get and implement, and off you go. It's
Love
much
it.
easier for me to go out and negotiate the discount on a sale and spend a lot less time on it, versus trying to come up with all your process, try all the different apps and see that they work or don't work, try, mailers, because mailers take, cost money.
Yeah.
And at first it didn't work for me. The first, this is my kind of second time around, and that's for people out there that doing it, and they're not like, they're getting 95% of the way there, but this last 5% they don't push through.
Yeah.
And that's the second time around I hopped in the car. And because before I had a driver do it for me, this time I hopped in the car, and this is the house. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So this is the one. I'll flip the
Love it.
camera very quick.
So how
Yep.
much did you buy this house for, Sergey?
All right, so let me just close the windows a little bit because I have neighbors here. So 189.
189. Well, and how much, I know you got to put some more money into it, but how much are you going to walk away with? What do you expect to make as far as profit on this deal?
So the profit we never know until the money hits the account, right? But the listing is gonna go on the market for about 325, and we're talking about
325.
about
Wow.
$50,000 rehab.
Wow. So you got a 189, $50,000 rehab. So you're going to be into it 240, right?
Yeah, closing costs, holding costs, yeah.
Yeah. So
So
250
there's
probably.
yeah,
Yeah.
250 or so, and then there's gonna be some cost on the sales side and whatnot. And I know some folks are making that money just by flipping a contract, and but part of this rehab, I'm doing a little behind the scenes video, so building a little content, looking at you too, building the followers and stuff. And you
Yeah.
need, everyone likes to see before and after on the properties there.
100%. Well, let's do this. How can people follow you and see the before and afters of this? Where is it going to be posted?
Well, it's actually Sergey Buys Houses. So we started my Instagram. So Evelyn, it's Sergey Buys Houses. Is that the name?
Yep, sergeybuysHouses.com, on Instagram, on YouTube.
Love it.
Yeah.
I
So
love it. So,
Instagram would be the best. Instagram would be the best, because
yeah,
this way I can, you can follow, and then I'll be updating it, and then YouTube, of course, also.
cool. Well, I think it's so awesome that you're willing to share this. And then is Instagram message, if someone wants to reach out to you, ask you questions, is
For
that the
sure.
best way? Cool.
Oh, I
And you're
love
no,
to.
or
We'll like to talk about real estate. So.
yes, yes. Well, I'm actually going to Tampa, brother. So I'm flying in actually a couple weeks. I'm going to take $1,000 and the goal is to turn it into 40 grand in 40 days, doing driving for dollars and showing it on my YouTube channel. But while I'm down there, you should swing by. We could spend a day driving around, hanging out, talking real estate.
100%. I'll fill up my car, and I'll be your driver, and we'll just hit the road, man. Just give me the date so I can block it. So Eve can
Cool.
block it, and then I'll be there.
No, that'd be fun. Yeah. If you guys want to come down, we could talk real estate, and I'll actually get to see Eve. That'd be, that'd be great. So Eve, I would love to get your input. So you do acquisitions, and it sounds like you're helping with social media. What other things are you doing for Sergey?
Everything, really, anything he needs help with.
I love it. Well, it's always nice to have a right hand. I couldn't function and have a successful business without my people as well. So what's your favorite part about the job?
My favorite part is hopping on the phone with people and just talking with them about their homes and trying to get the condition on their property and stuff. I think that's my favorite part, really.
Love it.
Hunting down
And,
the fees.
and why did you want to get into this? Why real estate? Why did you want to jump into that?
It kind of just fell into my lap, really. I'd never really had the intentions of going into real estate. I went to school for software development, and yeah, it kind of just fell into my lap, and I like it. Here I am.
That's
I'm
awesome.
learning lots of tricks of Sergey.
Yes, you will. That's a fun part about real estate is we are never done learning ever. There's always new things to learn. And we always need mentors and people to guide us. Myself, and just like Sergey said, that how important it is to have mentors to guide us through things we don't understand or know completely. Um,
Yep.
so how long have you been doing acquisitions?
I want to say next month will be 2 years.
2 years. So I know one of the best ways to get started in this industry is first get a mentor and just go all in on your own. And then for other people, just like Sergey and even myself, one of the ways we took advantage of getting into this industry is we either get a partner or we work for someone else. Uh,
Hmm.
what advice would you give someone that wanted to get like a higher up position like you have for Sergey? Like, what would you do to go get a job for a wholesaler? How would you approach that?
Oh, good question. I'm not really sure how to answer that.
Well,
um,
I have something to say if
yep.
Eve, after
Go
you.
ahead. Yeah.
No, go ahead. Say what you have to say, Sergey.
Well, I mean, I'll give you a little bit a little backside of my story. Well, I started as a massage therapist. When I
Mm,
got into the country, while I was doing massages, and Eve would see me, like I would flip the house, and I still will go out and do massages. So that can pay for marketing, that can pay for all the expenses, right? Because you can never plan on that house, or you can never plan on that check, because it might not happen, or you'll put yourself in a corner trying to be in a weak position. So the first thing is to join your local RIA. That's the hands down the first thing, right? The second thing, see who is the doers. There's so many people out there, they're just talkers. They're talking a good game, they know all the tricks in the box. But the question is, well, how many houses have you purchased or sold, Mr. Investor, in the last 12 months?
Right.
Right. And then the chances are, the big quantity of those people want to be like, oh, well, I am still getting ready, I'm printing my business cards, I'm getting the magnets on the car, and so it's never
Right.
a clear answer, right? But once you find the doers, just like follow them. Like one guy, we have an investor and mentor, Augie Bailot, here locally, right? And one guy told me, try to follow that guy everywhere. So I've seen the man 3 times in one day. I've seen him more than his wife, because I would see him in the morning, on some meetings or doing some help for him, and then for lunch, and then for the evening, get together in focus groups. So
How did
define the
how did you
doers.
how did you get that much time with him though? Because if
Well,
someone wanted to have lunch, dinner, and breakfast with me, I would say, "You're not my wife." So how did how did you get in like
yeah,
that?
I know. So yeah, so he liked massages, so that worked out. We've been able to do a little bit of a trade, right, for his time. And
Okay.
then it just happened to be there's meetings. He would go to all the meetings, and sometimes there's multiple meetings, during the day, at night. There's different vias, and I would literally just like, hey, can I be your driver? Can I just take you to the meetings? And then can we, in the mornings, can we have a breakfast? Can I go pick up mail for you? Can I do anything for you? Because back
Mhm.
then I was 20 years old, just
Yep.
just fresh from Russia, barely speaking English. And then I
Mhm.
would start listening his programs. He would have like objection handling course. Would I would listen like a parrot, and I would like remember verbatim what he was saying, and I would go back and we would discuss it. And then of course I was doing deals. I would go door knock, and I would have objections or deals to discuss, real stuff, not the theory, but the real deals. But a lot of times I see somebody in a club, and I'm like, well, they're like, how I can learn? I'm like, well, come to the office. But for some reason people don't last longer than a week. I was at the dealership, Nissan dealership, where the sales guy asked me how I can work for you.
Mm.
I'm like, well, as the matter of fact, I'm looking for a driver. So I'll pay you $15 an hour. You can learn. And if you grow and move from the driver to the acquisition, you'll get piece of the pie.
Mhm.
Well, the guy never ever called me back. I'm like, how can I find you? I'm like, well, here's the t-shirt, just take a picture of it, right? But that tells you that a lot of people talk about it, but out of 5, 7 people, I might talk in one night because I am interested to have people help me out, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's a win-win, but nobody follows through. I had few
Right.
guys that would come in and they would learn, and now they're doing land, they're doing some their own things, we're great friends. But I wish there would be more people that would take me up on it, you know what I mean, to help out.
Well, I think it comes from a place of hunger, like a want, a need to be successful. I love immigrants. I love them because they 100% believe in the American dream. They understand what the American dream is. It's not you're born here so you're entitled to greatness. It's we live in a country where it's potentially possible. If we dream, we can have it, but we have to work very hard. And other people from other countries, they don't have that possibility. It's just not even a possibility. My wife's from Brazil. I lived in Brazil for 2 years, and it opened up my eyes to what I really have. And it made me hungry to never waste this opportunity we have. And, Sergey is a perfect example. You came here, you were hungry, you worked for free, you were doing massages for free to learn, and you driving along, you were gathering mail, getting coffee, whatever the hell it took to be surrounded by successful people. I just made a post in TikTok that, I wanted to buy a truck. And so I went and worked 80 hours a work week and had a friend who had a rich grandpa, and I stayed at his house, and someone commented like, oh, but I'm from the Bronx. I wished I had a friend with a rich grandpa that I could go work for. Poor me, poor me, poor me. Right? Instead of like looking for those opportunities to get out of our comfort zone and earn our success. Like my hat is 100% off to you. And it's off to all of the immigrants of this country that believe in that American dream and gave up family, friends, and everything to come and build a better life. Like my arms are 100% open to you guys because I understand what you've gone through. The immigration process with my wife was horrible. She married me and it was horrible. I can't imagine what it's like for so many of you that are dealing with this. So I hope that you guys learn something from this. I'm interviewing another successful student that just signed up last week. I'm interviewing him tomorrow, and he did the same thing that Sergey did. He went out and worked for free and worked his way up and became an acquisition manager and earned his place. And now he just went out and did his first wholesale deal and made $6,000, going to go out on his own and make it happen. And so it's so inspiring, Sergey. I want you to know that like you said, there's very few people. You say, come on into my office and learn, but there's very few people that are willing to really do it like you did.
And I'm sorry, I've been jumping with the AirPods here, but I was paying very close attention to this. And as a matter of fact, I just came from Brazil 2 days ago. We were there
really?
on a vacation.
What part of Brazil?
Yes, love the country. It's a Belo Horizonte, so it's
Belo Horizonte.
I guess it's yes, south of well, anyway, it's a great place.
Yeah, so I lived in I lived in Sao Paulo for the 2 years.
Sao Paulo, okay. Yeah, so I think
there.
it's about an hour fly from Sao Paulo.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yes, so just want to follow up on everything because and at the office, not only now I finally have an office, but also all the apps, right? We have a texting software, right? We driving software, right? So everything is paid for. I have bandit signs, I have magnets, I have t-shirts. Just, hey, come on in, hop for the ride. Not only because just today I was sharing some examples of like borrowing private money, right, on a second position from some rentals that I have good first position mortgages. I don't want to refinance, but tapping into the equity on the second position, how to structure it with the private money lenders. They have smaller amount of money sitting on their IRA versus pushing the credit cards and getting money from the credit cards, right? And we were just running some numbers with Eve today. It's like, hey, you want to get access to 40, 60, 80, maybe $100,000 quickly. If the deal appears, this is how you do it. But you borrow money when you don't need them. You don't borrow money when the deal appears. You line it up beforehand because the truth of the market is you have to close, especially in Central Florida, you have to close the puppy in 12 days.
Mm.
And if I don't have cash on my account, it just doesn't mean that I'm not gonna get the deal, doesn't mean, but it just puts me that much closer. When I show up, my offer is strong, I have funds on my account, and I'm ready to roll, baby. Okay. And like I said, I'm not saying that you cannot do this or you cannot do that. This just works better for me. I
Mhm.
like to do the preparation, I like to do my accounting. I do have accountants, but I like to be involved, right? And there is a lot of opportunity with the conventional financing out there. There's a lines of credit, there is refis on investment properties. There's just many things out there that really interest me as a financial part of this business. The houses is a vehicle, and then you have this back end of the story that you can learn by being in the office.
So I want to say something. Sergey is a very intelligent person, and he has worked very hard to have the knowledge and experience and skill set and tools in his back pocket to make a lot of money once he finds a discounted deal. But I want to break this down for someone that has no experience with real estate investing and maybe seems very intimidated. A lot of the times when we hear someone like Sergey talk about his business and how he's squeezing every penny out of every deal and taking advantage of private money and all the things that he's been talking about, sometimes we feel inadequate and incapable of being successful. And I know exactly how that feels. I was a window washer not too many years ago. And I remember being intimidated and wanting to be successful. But, the reason I love real estate wholesaling is it's such a great area, barrier of entry. Like it's an opportunity to step in with no experience and be able to put a house under contract and have cash buyers that are very educated like Sergey. So if you're in Orlando, make sure Sergey's on your cash buyers list, right? And be able to find that deal, put it under contract, and pass that opportunity on to Sergey. Sergey can be the magician that he is and turn it into more money, right? But we can get paid a large sum of money to be able to provide those deals for Sergey. And just how Sergey found this opportunity, you can find these kinds of opportunities too through driving for dollars. And that's what we teach and what we talk about. So you guys can follow Sergey on Instagram and your website again. What was it?
Sergey buys houses.
Sergey buys houses. Well,
And
Sergey,
Sergey buys homes. So
Sergey buys
anyone,
house.
anyone you get.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, I'm sure, Sergey, we're going to spend some time together. I'm really
Yeah.
looking forward to hanging out with you and talking shop. And I'm going to be doing some fun things with some students. I'm going scuba diving with one of my students while I'm there. I'm going pig hunting with another student. I'm going fishing with another one. So I have a lot of fun students there in Florida. Look at that place. It's looking awesome. If you guys aren't on YouTube,
Yes, I just wanted to do a quick walk
it's
here.
looking really good.
Yes, so we're about a week out, hopefully, to once we get this granite. So this is going to be the master,
Yeah.
getting some light fixtures. The shower is there, getting the magic down. This is the countertops there. But I really enjoy this, this part of the business is that seeing what beat up house with pets and mold and, well, not mold, but beat up walls and stuff look like. And now, well, this bench was just painted, but now what it is now.
It's
So
beautiful.
anyway, just wanted to, it was a perfect timing. So like I said, I wasn't prepared for the to
No
be
worries.
on a live call today. But
Well,
yes, and
Sergey, thank you.
I'm sorry if I was a little bit overboard for some folks, and I think
No, it's great. I just have a large audience that may not understand even the vocabulary that you're using. But and then others will. So there will be people that will be blessed by your information and education you've given, but also others that will be inspired to hear where you came from. That you were fetching people's coffee as an immigrant, basically trying to get your way into financial success to where you're at now, right? That you're inspiring others and you're helping, and leading your team and helping someone like Eve to learn and to grow and she'll be blessed the rest of her life for the things that she'll learn and that you're willing to open your doors and serve and bless someone else's life because you know what it's like. You know what it's like. You didn't come from a massive amount of success, right? You wouldn't have hustled like you did if it was just handed to you. And so I think more than anything, that's the story, brother. Like, and you should be super, super proud of yourself. And you shouldn't hide how much you know. you shouldn't try and dumb down how you talk so someone else might comprehend, because you should let your light shine so other people might be inspired, and essentially give them permission to go for their goals. And so I just really appreciate you being willing to share your story. And Eve, thank you for being here with us. Just an awesome story. Thank you for sharing it. Guys, gals, anyone listening to this, if you want to get started in real estate investing, real estate wholesaling, you have no idea where to start, and you're looking for a mentor, I do help people. I have my wall here. Sergey used to be on this wall. He's now out on my success board. But if you want to get on my wall and be mentored and coached by me, I'd love to help you. You have to apply on my website at dfdmastery.com and fill out the application, book a call, fill out the application, and either myself or one of my onboarding coaches will be talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Have a blessed one. Hey guys, I got Sergey on the phone. We just did a full case study, full success story. Sergey is one of my students that I've had for a long time. He's at a house that he's flipping right now that he found from Driving for Dollars. Awesome guys in Orlando. You guys can reach out to him and also see his success story on another video that'll be posted. But I ended the recording early. He actually wanted to share something and say something. So go ahead, Sergey.
Well, I wanted to point out on importance of the mentor, right? And I've heard a lot of times, well, I've paid a lot of money for my multiple mentors, right?
Mhm.
And sometimes I would get an objection where the people go like, well, should I go flip my first house and make money and then pay for the mentorship? Or, should I pay for the mentor first, but it's a lot of money. You're talking $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000.
Yep.
And my response is when I got my first mentor, I was hustling and bustling, cleaning tables, or in my case, doing massages, right? And I saved up the money, and I'm glad I did. And here's the reason why. If you go out and you do a deal, first of all, you can get into the bad deal. All right. And at that point, whether you have mentor or don't, you are in a bad spot already. Right. But if you get a mentor first, if you go hustle up, you can Uber, you can get a second job, you can do whatever you need to do. You can buy and sell stuff on marketplace, right? There's multiple ways right now to make money. And then you find the right person, right? That you can invest in. He will walk you through and he will make sure that you don't get into the bad deal. My first time around, 6 months, I was with a mentor. I didn't get a deal done, but I paid for another 6 months. And that's when I closed my first deal and I made $27,000 on that deal, right?
Love it.
Now, if I wouldn't have the mentor, most likely I probably would be discouraged. I would say, well, this thing doesn't work. That's why, it's a good game, good talk, but there is no real money there. Now, when you have a mentor, when you have like a close group, like a family, just like with DFD, right? That's the reason I invested into this, because this is a ready to go package versus trying to figure this out myself. It's worth for me. And I would recommend to everyone, go make money, hustle up, save it up, and then just jump full hat with the mentors by your side, making sure you are in a good group of people with a lot of knowledge there that they will walk you through and you will learn from that experience, versus trying to flip a deal. It sounds easy, but once you really get into it, there is some nuances to it that
There's
it's better
risk.
to learn.
Yeah.
There is risk, there is a couple things, because even Zach, even we're talking with you and I'm picking up every call, every conversation, something that I could have implemented with the seller at the meeting, and I could have got the deal.
Yeah.
And or I'm not. And each deal, it's a good chunk of income that's not being closed, not being utilized. So this is just couple cents on a subject, I guess.
So I love it, Sergey. And so I want everyone to know this is not like a pitch to join my program, right? So excuse me.
Bless you. That wasn't the plan. Yeah, that was the after.
This is not the plan. Like, yes, I'm a mentor, but I don't coach everyone. And I am not Sergey's only mentor. And Sergey has other mentors that he respects and loves, I'm sure, right? That has helped him add a lot of money. I am not the only mentor. There's mentors out there. So I don't want you to think that I'm sharing this content for you to just jump in and join me and pay me. This is not what this is. I truly want to serve you guys. So Sergey, yes, I'm a mentor and maybe they like me and that's a fit. Fine. But let's say they don't jive with me. They're watching this content. They don't jive with me. That's fine. I don't, I only want to coach a certain amount of people anyways, right? So I'm not going to coach everyone. That's fine. So what are some of the things that you would say to look for now that you're super successful? You've had lots of mentors, you've put a lot of money in, and I'm sure wasted some money on mentors that weren't very good. What are some of the things that you would say to look for when looking for a mentor?
Well, like during the call we just had, join the local organization and start utilizing those resources. Go and meet with people. Now we're in a different era with COVID right now, right? You cannot go to the meeting. It's all through the Zoom and stuff like that. But that would be your first step. See the people who are doing things. Look for the doers. I mean, if I, when I started, I was looking for the people in my backyard. Somebody who knows the market, somebody who has the title companies, attorneys they can refer you to, CPAs and whatnot that they work with, that speak the same language. So that would be a start. Join the local organization, use all the resources they have available, and then see for the people who are doers in your backyard. That would be the first step. And then go from there. Join all the Facebook groups. There's so many out there. Obviously you have to watch for the content, see what the people are saying. But if it's a local group, it's very quickly gets around if somebody is not a good person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If somebody is not doing right by the group, it will get around very quickly. But if you have a referrals and from multiple people, you've heard a good words about certain mentor or about certain person, then well, that's give you some certainty that this might be a red fit. And then try to volunteer for that person. See if there's anything you can do. Like with me, you can put the bandit signs out. You can do driving for dollars. You can come on the office and maybe hop on the phone or send some text messages. Like I wouldn't mind. However, if I will have some assignments to do, like if I put my heart and my time into the person and I give them the assignments and they don't follow up and come up with excuses, well, there is that.
Yep.
We're not gonna go any further because there's so many people out there that want to be part of it, and we all have limited time, right?
Right.
But back to your question is that start locally, start right there and just start doing something. Analysis paralysis get too many people away from doing the deal, because at the end of the day, with any marketing, you're just trying to get your message across. Just Sergey buys houses. That's all there is to it. And then we'll have a conversation. And even if you don't have it perfect, even if you don't have your numbers, even if you haven't done your research and you don't know about construction yet and you don't know about anything, the point is just let it come from your heart and look for ways to serve the person and see if you can help. And if there is a need, right, to sell the house, then you can reach out to your local folks. Then you can reach out to the folks on Facebook and ask for advice, and maybe as a common thing to do like a joint venture. If somebody will mentor you through, and then you will do the legwork, right? And I used it a lot when I started, because every time there is a question or objection I don't know, I would say, hey, it's a great question. Let me get back on with you on that. And or let me just check with my trustee, or let me just check with my partner on that. And then write it down. Make sure you follow up on that question. But that's the easy way out of something that you don't know. Like, what do you think the property worth, or what do you think this rehab is going to cost, or what this or what that. But go out there, see the houses. One of the first assignments from my mentor was to go and physically see 50 houses. And then once you see the 50, you can find the one. You can see if the one is the deal, because you've seen 49 others. You can say, well, this one actually has a good layout. Well, it's actually a good location. Well, it's just cosmetical work. But unless you've seen others, it's hard to compare, and it's hard to do from home. You really gotta get out there.
Right. Awesome stuff. Well, thank you so much for sharing that little gold nugget. Guys, get out there, get started. Don't make excuses. Find someone, find a mentor, find someone local, go to your RIAs, volunteer for someone that's actually doing deals and learn from them. Right. And it's so cool. I have an interview just giving someone that followed that exact advice and is now doing deals on his own. So awesome stuff, man. Thank you for sharing. God bless you. And we'll talk soon.
Thanks.